There's a big vote in New York today that impacts the criminal probe into the Trump organization. Today, New Yorkers will vote for the next DA. Whoever replaces Joyce Vance when he leaves in December inherits this Trump organization case that's been heating up. Indeed, there's reports it's expanding into a broader cross-section of Trump executives. Prosecutors looking at Matthew Calamari. You may recognize his name. He was once a bodyguard, and he's under investigation for whether he also received tax-free goodies. The Wall Street Journal reporting is also now confirmed by sources who spoke with NBC News. Prosecutors suggesting he needs his own lawyer. And now they have one. The report showing that Calamari and his son have tapped a new lawyer. There's red-hot heat also on the CFO of the organization. Prosecutors working on getting Alan Weisselberg to flip and give up evidence. Now, without Weisselberg's cooperation, the Washington Post has noted it's also unclear whether prosecutors would be able to establish required intent on Trump's part for crimes. So to be clear and fair, this is heating up, but there's reporting that suggests prosecutors still need more evidence. The case, though, is clearly expanding to people who are very close to Donald Trump. I want to bring in a former Trump Organization executive, Barbara Rez, author of Tower of Lies, what my 18 years of working with Donald Trump reveals about him, and former federal prosecutor Joyce Vance. Barbara, we'll get to you on the people. I want Joyce to begin by just walking us through what it means that this investigation appears to be going up and down the ladder.
It's a really interesting stage in the investigation, Ari. It looks like a full court press on all potential witnesses who could cooperate directly against people at the top of the Trump Organization, the former president and his children. And something I think we should caution your viewers is that it's very difficult to know what's happening in a prosecution from the outside. We're hearing reporting that prosecutors have sort of hit a little bit of a hurdle, that they're not able to flip some of the witnesses that they would like to have. But sometimes that can just mean that prosecutors are using investigative techniques, that they don't want to compromise by revealing too much. So we don't know exactly what's going on here. It's fair to say, though, that prosecutors have reached the level of witnesses, and I view these people as potential witnesses. They are certainly target defendants. Prosecutors would likely prefer to have their testimony in exchange for a cooperation agreement. They are now at the level in the Trump Organization that suggests they're at the point where they have difficult decisions to make about who gets prosecuted and who gets a pass.
Barbara, tell us about Matthew Calamari.
I hired Matt. Trump picked him, met him at a U.S. Open. He was working temporary security, and he pulled some kids out of the way that were sitting in someone else's seat and impressed Trump. And he got his card, and he told me to put him on as head of security on Trump Tower, and that's what I did. And he's a security guy, I guess. The next thing I know, he's the COO. I mean,
it's wild. So, I mean, it shows the bumps. So he goes from a casual run-in to a serious position. I mean, you hire someone for security, you better hope you vetted them and they're on the right side of things. And from there, you say he goes into becoming an executive. So what does that tell us about the way this place runs and whether Calamari knows anything that investigators want to know?
Okay, let me say that when they say Weisselberg knows where the bodies are buried, that's, a euphemism. Calamari knows where the bodies are buried. He's been with Trump through thick and thin, every single move that Trump ever made. Matt's been there, or someone else, but usually Matt. And he might not know anything financial, but he probably was sitting around when things were discussed. So he probably has information. The thought that Trump gave him something to engender his loyalty, that's not new. That Trump was doing that all along. He gave out little things that, like tickets to the Open, and he gave out big things like cars. I mean, anything. It was all chits. It was all to collect back, loyalty or favor or something like that. That's sort of the way, like a godfather. So I don't doubt that Trump gave Matt different things. We'll find out. But we know one thing for sure. He gave his son a job. And that's a big deal. So, for anyone that, and he's done that with others, for anyone that gets a job for their child that works for Trump, it's an automatic loyalty and do everything I say. Because if you don't, not only do you get fired, but your kid loses its position.
Right. It locks them in extra, which, as you say, is more synonymous with other types of organizations. You know the term standing tall, Barbara?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Weisselberg's been standing tall to the investigators up to this point, according to all evidence we have, including basic indicators like he keeps showing up to work. If he'd cut some deal and quit, it would look different. Is Calamari also the type to stand tall?
Probably more so even than Allen, but I don't think either one of them will go to jail, to be honest with you. Now, I know them both very well. They're not the kind of people that, Trump is usually associated with, like, what's his name, Roger Stone, or the other guy.
Roger Manafort.
Manafort, yeah. They're regular people. I mean, they have probably been contaminated and probably, been brought in and drawn into, all sorts of things. But I think that the notion of going to jail is something that would be anathema to both of them, especially Weisselberg, because kids are involved. And, I don't know, Joyce would know what kinds of things prosecutors will do to get someone to flip, as it were. I can imagine that they have the ability to say, I'll go after you on your taxes. I'll go after you for not reporting this. I'll go after you for the apartment I gave your son. If that happens, I think it all folds in.
Joyce?
Well, Barbara makes a really good point here. We don't know exactly what prosecutors are thinking about charging, so we don't know exactly what sort of deals are available. But the best deal for someone in Weisselberg's position, really many defendants that I've encountered, is if they have a child who's got criminal exposure, if they have a child who may end up going to prison. The deal that they are often willing to take is a deal that will save their child. They are willing to go to jail themselves to see that happen, to go to prison themselves for a significant amount of time, so long as their child doesn't have to. And in this situation, that means telling the truth, testifying about what they know, whether it's actual or simply theoretical bodies that are buried someplace. And it looks like that's exactly the strategy that the Manhattan DA's office is using. Something that you started out by flagging, Ari, is the fact that there's a time clock ticking in the Manhattan DA's office. The election is upon us. Cy Vance is likely looking to cap his career. And it seems to me that you don't put all of these resources into this investigation only to come up empty-handed as the very last thing that you do as the district attorney in Manhattan.